issue. Because I see the stream server is initializing. Please wait. Is this working or not? I actually tried to stream from the studio and then it didn't work. So I don't know if this one is actually working. What's going on? Some kind of it could be my side as well, because there is a huge storm outside. Where is the house here? Yeah, actually it looks like it might be live on YouTube, but okay, so actually it's working. There is a huge, and there's a bit of delay. I don't know why do I not see the other stream, which I, all right, that's it, because I'm not in a studio. Anyway, the studio I was unable to launch just now. I wanted to do it from the studio because I want to experiment a little bit. I wonder maybe later I can log out this. Actually, I wonder if I could do that. No, I'm not going to overload it now that it's shaky. Anyway, so today I just also want to see in here, did I put, is everything okay in this sense? Studio, because I want to experiment a little bit. I wonder maybe later I can log out this. Okay, so that's working. Okay, seems to be working anyway. So I want to do a little bit of painting. We are actually only 5 Goldberg variation away from completing the project. And the project has been going on since, I think the first one I did sometimes in November, I believe. So November, December, January, 3 months. That's a nice rounded way to finish things. Okay, let me just check something, because you know it wouldn't initiate, so I'm becoming obsessed with these things. Actually, it's more because it's multicasting, so I want to make it just to check if it's multicasting on Periscope as well. How is that working? Yeah, okay, it seems to be working on Periscope as well. Okay, so yeah, perfect. Okay, so I think also all sorts of notification. So now today I'm actually I'm launching. I've been launching this for a long time, but now I think finally I'm launching it, the kind of a Facebook artistic diary, or whatever one wants to call it. I'm calling it a Facebook because it's a word that George Lichtenberg, I'm not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing properly, that he actually used. And I'm a little bit strange thing happening. It says stream servers initializing, please wait. And I seem to be live on other. Story. Thank you, Jonathan. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. Stealth mode now. Paulos, great to see you. Thanks. Stealth, exactly the stealth mode. Okay, so finally it's working, but I'm having all sorts of weird notification. I'm also playing with the studio over there from the computer. So anyway, with Lichtenberg, I think. Actually, yeah, who am I asking? There is a Google in there. By the way, there are many Lichtenbergs, so you have to put in a philosopher or a scientist. So there are these Lichtenberg figures that are fascinating. And today, how to pronounce? How to pronounce? Quite intense. Exactly. Well, that's what it's all about. I think I want to do all sorts of intensities. I think the movement is about intensities as well. Thanks, Keith. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Wonderful. Although everyone, please move away from, and also you, if you can, either Habs or YouTube or whichever you like. I wouldn't like to be out of touch with you afterwards. Hello, Jane Opera. Great to see you. Thanks for joining. I have a strange. Okay, now it disappeared. The streaming notification, which was freaking me out. Anyway, so now let's see how to pronounce Lichtenberg. Lichtenberg. He is George Christoph Lichtenberg, a philosopher, but also a scientist. So there are those figures, and I figured. Oh yeah, of course. Stupid. I turned off the microphone. Yeah, the speakers.
George Christoph Lichtenberg.
George Christoph Lichtenberg. George Christoph Lichtenberg. Mr. My piano, no worries. Well, hopefully I'll be doing a bit more. Paula's great to see you on YouTube. Hopefully I'll be doing a little bit more now because I've had, I think about more or less 5 days full work. And this is all on a voluntary basis, by the way. So I'm curating this exhibition, and out of 155 applications, I have to draw out 21. Then I realized, okay, make it 28, and then it's going to be an opening on the 28th. I still haven't announced none of this. So anyway, it was the hell. Writing more, yes. So giving, no, I was doing all sorts of stuff with curating this time. So I was. And then even preparing the piece. So I wrote the little curatorial statement. Jonathan, thank you for the Creative Genius Award. Definitely not genius, but something that reminds me. Yeah, Salvador Dali said this is actually worth mentioning because this morning I woke up so hyper. Today I'm finally doing the waste book. And the way to make myself do, I'll just do it whatever it is, even if I'm not planning. And I realized I have a big issue with the planning. It's impossible to plan. There is spontaneity for me is the king or queen, whichever gender you want to give it. And so I realized this quote, which is always with me, with Salvador Dali. He says, I wake up in rapture and I wonder what wonderful things am I going to be doing today, and this is something that if we felt, if more of us felt, and it's not even forced. Like when we think about all of this positivity and the people saying, just think positive, it will happen positive. But like you have to just feel this excitement, the ability to wonder. And I think sometimes like maybe because of the media, I don't know, maybe it's just plainly a collective, and certainly with the COVID and all of the chains that it produces, not only physical but also mental, it's very difficult to be feeling this kind of rapture, but pretending you're a genius because that's funny, Jonathan. Oh my God, always every time you put the thing, it's so poetical, But yes, the Dali reference. But anyway, I have another one. So he says that everybody is a genius at least once in a lifetime, but the trick is to make those points a bit closer together, bottle energy and sell it. Wow. Thanks so much. I don't know, I don't think of myself as much of an energetic person. I do have the intensity, and this is more connected to this is actually quite nice. It's feeling like I have all sorts of conflicting things when people when we are discussing about something about me. I prefer to have it just a little bit about me, more about you as well, because Carmen Blinky Bill, thanks for joining all the way from Melbourne. It must be very late for you there right now, evening time. So yeah, but it's also nice because I think it's kind of open sourcing, and we still have this kind of reservations, me included, like what can be open sourced, what can't be open sourced, and definitely something of the mind. So it's kind of like a reflection when I'm live streaming as well. It makes me look into the mirror. It's literally over there, this kind of a mirror. Earlier on when I was doing a piano stream, because I did it from the studio, it was 2 streams, so it's like multiple. But then also when we think about the self, with all the eyes upon the self, it creates more gravity to actually create, to be more responsible towards the others. Like just imagine if every single event on this planet was a live stream, if it was open sourced, I don't think it would have allowed for much of horrors. Constantly, oh wow, yes. Well, I'm jealous of that. In here, it's Although I don't know if I can be jealous when it's too hot, but because of my Eskimo genetics. But oh my God, in here it's incredible storm. Like if something starts breaking up, I'm just waiting for it because I haven't all closed the shutters. It's a complex thing to close the shutters of this little studio. So if the if the storm comes in and everything covered. Malvin, hello, beautiful person. And Dan Morgan is with us. Exactly, it's going to be, I don't know whether a happy painting or a dark painting, but it's going to be about Lichtenberg and about Lichtenberg figure. And I don't think I'm going to be representing it, but in some sense, I want to question the aspect of emotion. So look what I have in here. So this is my breaking apart Goldberg variations. So number 25. It's about emotions, the coldest frozen monster, ruthless and unforgiving. So that's what I want to be portraying. Very cheerful, right? Very happy. But, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that it's for depression if it's kind of like on a darkish side. So let's see how. I have absolutely no preparation. I was more focused on doing actually the other thing because I wanted to do it on a studio. I'll try later. Maybe I can maybe connect on a studio while Ruben, hello, while I'm here with you on phone, and then we can think about how can I share because I want to live stream the opening of the online exhibition which is coming up on 28th, and I definitely need to test how to do it with the sharing of the screen. Hopefully, maybe if somebody shows up from the Hubs team, I will try to ask to see if I read that correctly. So I want to start a little bit with the bluish energies. For me, color is almost an energy. So yeah, everything is an energy in the universe. That's what Tesla said. You just have to find a relation between those. And then, of course, with the artists, there is magnetism as well. So everybody builds their own magnetism, and eventually we are all artists, and we are just going to be learning that once we machinified ourselves. Because I think that the industrial age brought a lot of ambition for us to be super productive, super machine-like creatures. And I'm just sitting on a yoga something. I don't know what's the name of it. So it will probably be a little bit of the painting. I just discovered the painting every so often all over my clothes. This is the wise of always working on the floor lately. Okay, so a bit of blueness. So it's going to be kind of a dark. Hello, it's kind of a dark piece. Let's see, maybe white. No, not at this stage. We want to start dark again. Definitely some of this. I love this metallic. I actually lost the whole range of metallic colors, which I brought from another place. And I have no idea where it is. I would really be interested in some light blue from that palette. But, well, beggars can't be choosers. I don't know where they are. So, therefore, I have to make the most of what I have right now. Just making the palette, and it's very difficult to extract the lilac. Lenny, how are you, my friend? Thanks so much for joining. Greetings to you. Wonderful to see you. So it's kind of like a painting time. Colors are created by auras and create auras. Wow, love that. Yes, I think so. This is quite actually, yeah. And then about the auras, there's all of this mysticism. By the way, I'm finally appreciating, and this I think applies to you as well, Pavlos. I'm finally appreciating this place. Travis, thank you for the Super Heart Award. Appreciate it. I'm really appreciating this place because there are remnants from the Byzantine Empire, from this deep belief system. And then when we think about the aura, the spirituality, and Pavlos is also from Greece, so that's very connected to the Byzantine, was building a lot of the structure upon the ancient Greek philosophers, and also the revival of the Greek language, because the Romans were looking into a different direction. Yes, just call. Oh my God, it's in here as well. I was just earlier mentioning there could be a breaking into this studio. The nature might want to break in. If that happens, well, it wouldn't be. Well, it would be the first for me, but it wouldn't be the first for the stream, because oftentimes all sorts of stuff happens. So, and it's a deep concept, yes. Yeah, because of the, like, in the Byzantine Empire, there was much more emphasis on the beliefs and like materialism, while Merovingian and Carolingian cultures were developing in the Western Europe. Byzantine Empire continued the transition from the Roman Empire with this alteration that it was bringing the sources of knowledge and focus in terms of the culture, because once the language is being absorbed from a different place, that immediately pulls so much culture with it. And that actually left the mark upon the place where I am right now. So, and then also I think Paulos is also picking up a little bit on it. So, and for me as well, when it comes to the painting, it's almost like it's very spiritual experience. It's a very, very and strange. And if I'm exhibiting as well, I want to find the spirituality. I want it to feel a little bit like a church, but not 100%. Thanks, all of these books and the pens. I have no idea where I actually have to buy some of the pencils, because I have to write on the physically, right? Yeah. So I'm bringing a bit more. See, this time, unlike a lot of the other times when I would go directly on the piece, because this is kind of, maybe I could even call it calligraphy, maybe a little bit in the concept, in the approach. Let's see what I also want to do in here. Just bringing all possible colors, and then later it will be a lot more. Okay, brown, and then I think definitely now at this stage some this. I'm avoiding redness like a plague, but I shouldn't, because there's the color of materiality, and in this particular one I need to have it. It needs to be presented in some way. Let's just mix it a little bit more with this. So okay, now this way you can see, right, most of the piece. Underneath are the old pieces. Maybe I could share it. Oh, I'm going to bring this. You see the materiality issues. So later maybe we'll be working on this together. Some more, because I have only 5 more. It would be awesome if I finished all 5 today, but I think that's impossible. Conceptually and physically and spiritually as well. So a bit more, I think. Yeah, I can't find the proper turquoise, so I'm going to just mix blue and green, produce a turquoise eventually. So yeah, this one, you see, I want this, but it won't come out. Let's just try. Oh, it would. It does come out. Okay, so it's just about trying harder, being persistent. Perfect. Okay, so that's done. And a bit more of the materiality. You see, now once I bring the colors, it feels like I have brought out the most essential part of the piece. So with Lichtenberg, it's actually a Lichtenberg figure, which he discovers. Pink Floyd, it's too much French for me. I can't understand. It's very, very limiting for me when it comes to French. Okay. Yeah, I want to create kind of like a hands, reaching hands, because with the Lichtenberg figures are also, they are reaching, and this is how electricity looks like. And you know, when it's interacting with the either solids or liquids or gases, it's the same pattern all over. And then we have the same pattern as well when we are thinking about the brain as well. So I want to create, oops, oh, just painted. Okay. Can you actually see? Yeah, you can see. Actually, that's good. Right. You actually can see. So finally, I position the camera not in a too bad way. So, but the variation, because each one of these pieces is devoted to one of the Goldberg variations, the variation itself is about the depthness, the most deep thinking of all, probably my favorite of all. And so you can see the interaction is already starting to show up, like the structure. This is being built. If you guys see something figurative, something that reminds you of something, please share what is it that you see. Because similarly, like what I do when I share my piano exploration, yeah, so I'm going to give an emphasis on there and in here in terms of the redness. I want that to be completely a little bit like a branches. I want to go up. Okay. And also, whenever I'm not painting a few days, like right now was the case with all of the curatorial activities, it's actually very inspiring the moment I start. So now I'm just going to follow the main figures of this whole thing. Somehow it's a little bit Chinese. I don't know how, but it feels a little bit Chinese. You know, the amount of coldness that one can sustain. I think in this piece I want to really promote this. Okay, it's wonderful interaction. Because for me also death is very red in terms of the color. I literally had visions. It was almost like seeing something beyond this world. And this usually happens when I'm in the sea. Sea gives me answers to a lot of stuff. Travis, yes, thank you. So there is a bit of, by the way, guys, if there is a bit of latency or something, it's not my fault. I actually think that there could be some issues with connections because I tried to do a studio stream and then it wouldn't launch. So we will see. Yeah, this one also reminds a little bit in structure with the one I shared today on Instagram. Because it has this kind of edginess. I'm probably making a mistake by going with that. No, let it be strong. Because there's something mystical about this tree. Thanks for subscribing. Lenny, just watching amazing. Thank you so much. Lenny, always super, super kind and supportive. Wow, wow, I love. Can you see? Yeah, I think I'm going to bring this up closer to you. To everybody, I love this green just now. Okay, I've also noticed as I'm interacting, as I appear completely distracted, which is actually not the case. This helps me get into the flow because I'm just outsourcing the mind, completely creating this special way of transference. So, and then I'm sure that the pieces are actually the result of the interaction with all of you. Okay, so now this green is just amazing. It really works so well. It is no wonder that I felt that I really need to put in more green, and especially this. Now I'm putting more blue. Okay. Oh yes, of course, the whiteness. Because the whiteness just brings strange energy. I wonder where will this lead me? Now it's going to be a little bit difficult to reach the entire piece, but I think I'll be able to color. Reminds of a goldfish, koi carp. Right, a little bit. Oh yeah, actually it's true. Yeah, exactly that one. Exactly, especially you see where I'm having the mixing of what I call the humane color, which is actually just the skin color. Sometimes we judge things by the skin of it. Okay, more blue. Blue, excellent. Definitely need more blues. And also this. Somehow it's becoming a very positive from the complete darkness. It's turning into something very, very positive. Wow, very strange. Okay. Okay. So about my waste book, I want to document a lot that has been happening, especially with China, because I feel like it took me a year to just digest this newness that was happening, and then I have so much visual material. When I say visual, I mean all these paintings. Sorry, all the photos, and I want to share that with the world, and then also it's all of those other moments before China in different countries that maybe didn't feel as novel just simply because I was used to it. So I want to do a little bit of research and a little bit of further open sourcing, which means writing, which means probably on Patreon I'll be sharing more, but across all the social media, sharing everything, so people can tune in, explore the world as I see. Okay, a bit more of this. Well, I need to put more whiteness. Definitely more whiteness there. Okay. And then the spirituality starts with blue. You see this, wow, this beautiful blending. Actually, I'm glad that I didn't, because my problem sometimes I grab something to the maximum and then it loses the essence, you know, and grab the bird too hard. And this is a result of the intensity being in art for so long. Sometimes I look jealously into the world of techies, how happy they are with just kind of like a simple life. External stimulation with playing with money and all of these aspects. Okay, still doesn't feel entirely circular, fully circular. I don't know if you can see. Can you see how is the vision? Yes, I think probably okay. Just let's work a little bit on the details. A lot of positive aspects, even though it's supposed to be about the darkness. These metal colors. Is this reminding too much? I wonder. Lini, thank you. I just had some in. Oh no, it's okay. It's just some strange notifications. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm going to leave this piece as is because it's kind of reaching its flux, which is what I'm thinking about. You know, emotions in its coolest. It's not like there is a lot of fears, but at the same time, like a circularity in it. And then I thought about the Lichtenberg, and I didn't really capture the Lichtenberg aspects. Maybe it's coming in another painting because it has to mature. The same like with practicing the piano. The only time something will be immortalized with the music is if it's truly internalized, if it's a part of a being, of this experience, being in this mortal coil. So that one is about the society. Maybe I need to work on that. No, maybe not now. I'll probably be working at the end of the day about all of this, every piece a little bit more. Anyway, for the moment, let it dry. And I'm going to bring another one, at least start. Because I feel like when I do two, that's the right proportion. If I do three, that's too much. So, exciting times. Let's see what is with what will be the number 26. How fast fast can one outgrow what one admires? So this is a very dominant, very extroverted, maybe we can put it that way, um, extroverted and very dominant. And so in that context, I think, by the way, I was also reading about the Pythagoras, and that's very interesting. All of the symbolism, I forgot the one with the 12 sides. He really believed in geometry and all of the systems that it could be applied. And so let's just see if I can do something in here in that respect, because this is about the progress. This is about the it actually has the energy of a tree, but also has to be with this. So I'm going to be reversing probably lighter colors in the lower part and darker colors in the upper, because to my mind, darker colors are more connected to the gravity, to the intensity, and lighter colors are more about the disconnection of the preconceived of the notion about something. Yes, so, and it's more metallicity. This is almost the same. Yeah, it's not the same. This one is lighter. So I'm just going to put a bit more blackness there. Because, yeah, this would be interesting as well. Sometimes if I was painting with the fingers. But the redness is in the middle. Redness, and the greenness is also a bit of a darker color, even if it might not seem like at the first moment. Always create kind of like a balance, illusion of a balance. And of course, the whiteness will be required in here. Getting some notifications, but that can wait for a moment. Maybe later after this stream, probably want to sort out the paints finally. Okay, and with the magenta. Perfect. Okay, let's start. So, start from the corner. So, how fast can one outgrow what one admires? This is the topic of this. So this one is going to be very, very fluffy, I feel like. This piece kind of is going to be a flux in the jungle, as if something is just fighting with itself in the jungle of thoughts. Look at that. Wow, the red is beautiful. Yeah, I have to be careful that I don't banalize, because this is the problem, I think, in my expression sometimes. But also everybody's. How to make it collaborating with each other. So this one is far more about the collaboration, even though it's about outgrowing. But the process is smooth. It's a bit like process through world. Oh, we have a low battery situation. Blink of an eye. Hold on a second. I have a battery situation, which means I have to go and get the charger quickly because it seems that it's going very fast. My battery here. Here we are. It's nice to see the painting from a different angle completely. Okay. So I'm gonna charge the phone. Blink of an eye, probably from the previous painting. I just went upstairs and downstairs, so with breathless. Okay, yeah, there it is. Charging, perfect. So let's continue this kind of a flux that happens in the mind, whether to get rid of the old and embrace the new. You know, it's the eternal question that we ask ourselves as we go through life. So this piece, I want to create that kind of a turbulence, but at the same time without too much of struggling aspects. Yeah, messing up with the red, but that's okay. Yeah, it's just dominated now in this corner. Perfect. Actually, I really love the magenta. What it's doing, it's creating the spirituality aspect of the piece as well. And then it's a lot of intuition as well. But I feel like it's. See how it goes? It seems as if it's all random, but in fact, it's making sense. It's creating the struggle, the interaction, each color having its meaning. Okay. Then, of course, always trying to find the noblest of all. Socks. Call them, I don't know how you paint without getting painted. I actually have, Lini, that's a great observation. I'll tell you all about the socks. Actually, I forgot these for a few years, found them in the drawer, right? So these actually are Christmas socks, the red one. It's so good. And these, I don't know how to call them. The Swedish design, kind of, is it called the design? But they're super comfortable. They're super warm, which is most important for me. Warmth dominates the aesthetics. I don't care about the aesthetics if it's not warm enough or if it's not comfortable enough. It's even more important. So yeah, but that's a great point about the hair. The other day when I was in the shop And then I discovered these very colorful parts of the hair here. I had blue, red, and what was the other? And green. And then I was trying to remove it, and I couldn't. So for a few days, then I actually cut it because I was cutting the hair a little bit, just the edges. So that's the situation. When you find me completely going in the direction of a very short hair, eventually you'll know what it is. It's the colors. It's this spirituality, the interaction between the colors. That's a great observation. It was very funny that day. So this piece, wow, is very, very different than the other one. I don't know why is it happening like this. So it's so it was great point actually. But I love, normal person would put the hair behind tight or something. It's all over my face. Well, I wouldn't be too far from that. Look, it's already in the. And the reason why it's not all over the face, I think, is because I'm wearing makeup. By the way, that's greatly helpful because I like to play with the face all the time, touching it and stuff. And if I have the makeup, that's saving the face. So the same with the, you see, I create that habit. So wow, this piece is a lot about the flow. This is something I consciously didn't want to do, but obviously because I've been working on the piece, on the musical piece for quite a long time, it's actually brought in a very, very strange, very different interaction. So it's all about this turbulence of outgrowing the old, embracing the new. I'm so glad I went live today. It's incredibly inspiring. And all the favorite people. Bjorn, great to see you. Thanks for joining. In a ponytail. I know, but I can't because I think that it gives me energy. This is the crazy part that comes out. I think actually that the hair gives me energy. And I haven't actually reduced the length since I've been to China. I don't know why. Maybe it's the influence of a friend with a very long hair. Multiple creative artists. Yeah, well, it's today is a little bit multiple, definitely, because I've been making pause and the laziness was prevailing the last, although not so much laziness, more because I simply was focused on other things. But then, if I was truly multidisciplinary, I would really be able to stream a little bit more when I'm doing these other things, which is the curating. And I'd love to actually share that more with everyone. As you could do an artwork with the painted on cards. Great point. Thank you. But I'm afraid of the dark magic, If I, yeah, actually, I know you mean I could use it as a brush, right? I don't think, I need this special type of brush. It's very hard. This is natural. But sometimes the artificial, with the artificial hairs is quite good as well. Just about as long as I need to get it cut soon, right? I'm afraid to get mine cut. Look at that, like. But it seems fairly healthy. I don't know. So, and the shine. And so only if it was not looking, if it was a little bit about the, um, maybe then I would consider. But right now, I'm the Samson. The Samson is Samsonina. That's funny, Carlos. The Simpson, right? Because for me also it goes up if it's short. Actually, once I had a very short hair when I enrolled the university at the age of 15, when I was at the music academy, and there's the first signs of the extreme not caring what other people are thinking. That's when I started building it. So I'm quite enjoying this piece. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of very different than the other one. It's much more lively. It's more about life, whereas that one was more about the dogma. The only thing I have concern is about this dominant red. I have to diffuse a bit of redness, the greenness. Do you see that? I'm tapping the green color and I'm calling it red. Yeah, and so the way to diffuse that is just for spreading darkness. So the real struggle actually is happening in the upper corner, even though, because I want to describe this process of outgrowing something. How do you outgrow? How do you outgrow something that doesn't nurture any longer? You know, it has to be a struggle to break out of the shell, the nurturing shell of being in all sorts of habits. Because habit is what's a little bit destructive sometimes as well, I think. Actually, it has all sorts of new windows. I think I shouldn't be touching this piece anymore, even though I can't look at this part. Okay, I have to just fix a little bit that part because it's problematic. And the way to fix it is with some magenta and whiteness. Where is the whiteness? All the papers is inspiring. It's crazy. I have also there folded over there the magenta, me as well. It's actually now more and more, even though it's very bright, almost fluorescent color, but it's a nice one. And but yeah, in there we have quite a number of pieces. That one about society. Not so sure if I'll leave like that. This one is about materiality, the innocence, and the one underneath is about the material immaterial interaction. You see, and there is so many other. This is number 26. Did I paint? Oops, I have no. This is actually just wet. I stepped into the water probably. What did I step into? Yeah. Okay, I actually spilled some water over there, so it will be the case of where did I step into? Yeah, very strange. Anyway, that's for later. After the stream, let's focus back into the magicness of the magenta, and then I'm going to be maybe the third painting. What if I do 3 paintings today? That would be crazy. That would be definitely outside of the comfort zone because normally I'm happy with, yeah, this is it. This is making it whole. You know how the color is just a pure interaction with the color. In fact, making just a pure interaction with the color make something whole. It becomes independent of everything else. It gives the individuality. Okay. To spread it into there because I want it to be more, yeah, to connect with the redness here, definitely, and then here. Okay. Gives it balance. The spines are again showing up. It's interesting. You see, discovering what matters. So obviously for me, spine figures a lot. No painting out. Oh no! Oh my God! Outside, like outside is plain dangerous today. There are thunderstorm, huge rain. The wind. It's actually a red warning for both wind and rain. And so the outside is definitely not happening today. I'm hoping that, like just yesterday, the forecast was for tomorrow that it wouldn't be raining, but now I was checking, and by the way, maybe I'm becoming old person by checking the forecast so often, but what can I do? I'm living in this place that's it's kind of like yeah. So this is the only darkness. Interesting. So outgrowing oneself. I love this piece. I'm not too happy with the execution, and I don't know if this is the final stage. because life is a stage, right? As Shakespeare said. However, yeah, that's it. I think I'm finishing this. Good idea to exactly not a good idea. Even inside, as I was saying before, because I have the window just over there and I'm getting notifications and some messages coming in. I'll probably have to be finishing this stream now. So look, this is what we've built. This reminds of one piece which is actually exhibited in. How can it be so bad? Yeah. Okay. That's exhibited in Hainan Island. So I just wondering, should I? Hold on. Okay. Should I be trying to join in? What happens? Let me just experiment a little bit, since it's all the great people in here. Yeah, the wet. I've just stepped into something. So I stepped into over there. There's some water that I spilled in here. That's it. Okay, well, that's to be dealt with later. I just wonder if I try to join in the studio, what would happen? Or maybe I should do experimentation later. I just want to see what would happen if I try to join from the computer onto the, if I press go live. Hold on. Painting. Launch studio. Okay. Yeah. What do I do with the microphone? Probably I'll have to turn off the microphone immediately before I start. So this one, camera only. If I do joining of the studio. Oh my god. Okay. Nice to okay. That's it. Now you can, but it's on yeah, it's a wrong stuff. Because it's a portrait mode. Let me just play a little bit. I want to play to see how is this going on. Oh, my phone is vibrating a little bit because it's being charged. I feel that, is this normal to feel the feedback? Thanks, Blinkyville. Uh, is this normal to feel the vibration of the phone when it's charging? Just realized that's happening. And how can I, if I do it like this wide, okay, and then I put this one. This is strange. Okay, so this was happening. Okay, so it has all of this option. Right, this is completely, this looks like, okay, remove that one. A bit narcissistic with so many cameras, right? Phone to vibrate. No, but what's happening is now it's charging, right? And it's vibrating literally. I can, when I touch the phone, it's as if I'm touching the electricity, not literally, but a little bit. So what I wanted to actually do in here, if I'm able to, I just want to check if I do this. Okay. And if I do Chrome tab, exploring, if I share this, what can you see? How is this working? And then, can you see this? All right, actually, oh, sorry, hold on a second, where is it? Here. So you can actually see. Excellent. So this is actually working. So this is how I'm going to be presenting the online exhibition. Right now, maybe I can just go on through Louis Borghese. Actually, Louis Borghese is one of my favorites, right? For the price of one. Blink people so funny. Yes. So Louis Borghese, here is the, I don't, yeah, interesting. So you can see she's the 20th century, primarily a sculptor. Um, wow, this is exciting. So now I can, oh, I'm screen on that screen. Funny. So yeah, so this is a piece I wrote about Louis Borghese sometimes last year, and it's, I think, very worthy of. This sculpture is dedicated to his father. Her father. She was very interested in the interaction. This, you know, the sense of mother, the sense of father. Scott, hi, hello. Working excellent, yes. So just want to experiment a little bit with the studio. It's more like, and I'm so excited. I didn't even have to turn off in order to get into the computer side of it. So yeah, and then what you see here is very interesting. Look at this sculpture, like it's inside the cage, and this is obviously her impression of the world around as she's trying to identify the essence of the person, and the person is hugging itself, it's hanging off of this cage. It's very dark, but I think it's kind of representing sometimes the darkness of the world around it. And here's what I wrote. Louis Borghese. I actually can't read, it's too far. I'm that, even though I'm wearing the contact lenses, I'm too far. Grace is, yeah, with her presence spanning, even though she's lived along with so many artists, movement thinkers, her own world seems to be of highly reflective nature, an observational point of the self beyond the constraints of the trends. So I think she's quite dealing a lot about as many of them, most of them, especially in the 20th century, the constraints between the conventions, the society, and the internal, the existential. And here is the one nice. An artist can show things that other people are terrified of expressing. So I think this is very, very interesting. A lot of the time, you would see this little spider in her work. And interestingly, she's associating spider with the mother. And there's another quote that maybe I could read in here. Hello, the dog. Great to see you in here as well. Thanks so much for joining me in here, Scott. I didn't know that you are Allow the dog. We had so much fun on so many streams, I remember, and so much insight as well. So very happy to meet you. And I love more kind of like while the pseudonyms are fine, and I've been using them so many times. The ideas tricks, all these ideas and thinking, and maybe it's a little bit platonic lately. I've read about the Plato's structures of thinking. He actually literally called this other world ideas. So he believed that everything existed in the ideal form, and then it was being rendered on this planet or any other planet in this imperfect form, but it's always the variation of either one or the other. Anyway, so the quote in here: I love all artists and I understand them. They're my family and their existence keeps me from being lonely. To be an artist is a guarantee to your fellow humans that the wear and tear of living will not let you become a murderer. How strange and deep that is, isn't it? Deeply believing that the personal story told in the most truthful, uninhabited, and genuine way in expressing one's artistic language. Louise Borghese narrated the story of her own mother, her own father, her own circumstances, which spoke to the universal archetypes, universal sense of mother, not only what it means to each individual, a mother that gave birth and nurtured, but also the extended hand of what mother could become when it is transposed to other areas of life. This kind of nurturing aspect that she's actually exploring. And the spider, in a way, while it's very scheming and is always putting the nets and all of this kind of stuff, is I think is a very strange creature. It captures, it poisons the prey, and then it enwraps it. And that's why I think some of the her sculptures are enwrapped, because we also, as we go through life, we are sometimes enwrapping in our own thoughts. And here's another one with the cage as well. And then, of course, the spider is above it necessarily. And then this one, I think, Mammon, is dedicated to father. I'm not 100% sure. This was some time ago when I wrote it. Um, it's a place of safety where a ruthless nature of time is ripping apart everything around except for the web, a protective layer. Sorry, that destruction of father. I was I was referring to this one versus the other one. The destruction of father, 1974, is what you see right now. Is one of her first installation, is deeply rooted in her frustration, broken, shattered relationship with the father, idealism. So it's very interesting. And then another one of a wrapped human against the vastness of the cosmos, represented in the circle, a spiral woman, and maybe even the life path going in a spiral nature. Kumel, this one is very interesting. I think it's also quite early. Art is restoration. The idea is to repair the damages that are inflicted in life, to make something that's fragmented, which is what fear and anxiety do to a person, into something whole. Louis Borges. So now that's with that, I'm going to be finishing this. I think this stream, it was very interesting actually to be able to share like this. Sorry, I was yeah, actually, how do I do this? Okay, maybe if I was, maybe let me just experiment a little bit, because in the future, uh okay, I'll turn on this and I'll turn off this. That's it. So I think maybe in the future this is better positioning, right? A little bit. Yeah, I just have to figure out where is, where do I look for the stream. And just yeah, because of the light. Okay, so that's it. Anyway, thanks so much everyone for joining. Now I think I'm going to be finishing this stream. This was a bit experimental as well. How do I do this one as a first? No, 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 no. Okay. Yeah. No, I want this as a first. The upper corner. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so that's it. Thanks for joining, everyone. Hopefully, I'll see you next time. Don't forget to connect here to migrate if you're watching from Periscope. Famous sculptor at the University of Vienna for years. Could you please tweet that? Scott, thank you so much, because I love to explore other artists. I literally am doing the reason why I've been doing this kind of a test, just sharing about the Louis Borges, who is a historical figure in the artistic world, is also because I want to explore other artists and share some of their work, because I think it's very important to be thinking about the pieces that are created and the impact, because the piece of art is the craft, the technicality of it is just a visual representation. What's behind is very, very exciting. You have a wonderful rest of the day. Stay in touch. Thank you so much love, Lini. Thank you always, and hope you also have a wonderful day, and enjoying and not too cold. I'll try to also warm up, because cool by survive the elements. I know, Pavlos, you too as well. I think it's also rough at your end, especially with everything else that we have that's happening. So yeah, it was very interesting. This two paintings in one evening, and also a test. So I'm not going to be freaking out, making so many mistakes on the when I'm presenting, when I'm opening the exhibition in a few days, because I intend to share that also on Hubs, which will multi-stream on all the others. So thank you so much. I'll now close this. Oh yeah, maybe I will put Louis something more presentational rather than just this piece. Yeah, with the spider. Let's finish it with the spider over here and halves over here. Thank you. Have a great time. Thanks. So tweet that, Scott. I was thinking that I have an upset stomach. So hopefully that's all. Yesterday I was in horrors. Hope that goes away. Definitely yes. So have a great time, everyone. Bye. How do I finish this? Okay, exit. Here it is.